and only Most Wanted is in this zone. That's because only their little building, there's like a
Wait a
small
second.
one-room
Yeah,
building and a shack, and that is it.
yeah, they're they have 4 people at that small little shack. It's a small
You're
shack
right.
and a little like small building, like a shack, or the building's the size of a shack times two, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe 3 shacks worth of territory right there. But they have 4 players, and they're in the zone, so they could still maybe do something. Aphelion needs to make sure they take care of HQA here before they just play that position. Luckily for Aphelion, there's only 2 members of HQA, so they could manage to maybe just put themselves in a bad position and still take out the team of HQA. You see the nades coming in, pressuring them back down. The Flash could third party this from distance. He's also in zone, and now I think he's starting to shoot a little bit. There we go. Some shots coming in on the backside of Aphelion. They just gotta survive a little bit longer, and HQA will probably end up leaving them alone because that blue zone's pushing HQA into the zone as well.
hmm This is really the only spot that Aphelion had, though, and it's pretty strong because that big ridge, I mean, it
Hmm.
protects you from the northern side, and it's really going to be the north and the south that are going to end up in this game because otherwise there's zero cover, like coming in from the east and the west. So that's why you can see them prioritizing that. Start Gaming is also doing a little bit of damage to them as well, though, whenever they just peek over. I mean, they're trying to get at least a couple more eliminations or at least get some knocks before they're going to have to end up sending it down that mountain too. You can see them already inside of vehicles at this point. Brian actually going straight for it onto Most Wanted. I mean, if you're going to have to crash, like you're going to crash the best spot, right? Most Wanted
Yep.
arguably has the best spot. Here we go. Some nades starting to be thrown out. Oh, Mao. Oh, spots one out, gets the knock, but the trade comes through. It's not looking good for Start Gaming. Most Wanted had the advantage holding this in the defensive position, and it looks like they're going to succeed in that. Start Gaming officially out. Most Wanted, though, is shaken up a little bit, but it doesn't look like Aphelion is deciding to do anything about it. They like their spot for right now.
Yeah, Aphelion shouldn't leave this spot, and especially with that new circle. Aphelion is chilling. Flash could still really do a lot of damage and hurt them, but just as I say, that Crystal Pig goes up over the top and gets a confirmation. I don't know why. Oh, it was Clown up there. Clown was way too far up the ridge. Same with Nate, as Nate also gets knocked and thirsted.
Oh, no.
Was it okay? If Flash was the one that did that, that's okay because Flash does have the crazy angle to really hurt Aphelion. But I don't know why Clown was so far over the top on the flat of
But
the
they
ridge.
knew. They
Yeah,
knew he was there, though. Yeah.
I don't know. Mistakes being made on the side of Aphelion Esports. This should have been their game. Keep 4 alive right there in that zone, you win. So now that they're down to 2, I think this is Most Wanted's game. Now Flash. Oh, okay. I think he already took shots earlier, so he's going to continue to take shots. The hit list Flash playing major spoiler. If he takes out this team, he'll secure himself a 2nd place and Most Wanted with 4. Oh, the nades are hitting. One more nade has popped over, but
No!
he goes down. And that 2nd nade, oh, it didn't take down Aphelion, but Alucard over the top, or even any other member of Most Wanted will pop out. Yep, there we go. Trick 1v4 situation, and that is Most Wanted winning the game from the little shack compound. I want to rewind that game and see how long they were there for
Yeah, I don't know.
and then getting the chicken. Because hey, a win is a win. Most Wanted, yeah, they really need the points, but I feel like even with that chicken, they're kind of still in the same situation where they still desperately would need a lot of points to bump themselves up in the leaderboard.
They still do for sure, but I mean, they ended up playing that spot perfectly. Like, nobody wants that spot, or like,
Yeah.
really, because once you're there, like, you just have to keep your head down. Like, it's a horrible space to like shoot out of, but it's a good like space to kind of hide. So they played that well. They played it defensively when Star Gaming crashed on them as well, and then they got that win. I do think Aphelion, if they played a little bit differently, I think it really would have been more of an Aphelion versus Most Wanted fight. But we're gonna go take a look at some highlights and then be back with the desk afterwards.
Let's go. Most wanted. End up with the chicken dinner right there. Hey, we saw. And who did they win it from?
A billion.
Phelion Esports. Ooh, this rivalry is starting to cook up, and it's getting me hyped up. Of course, we're gonna give you guys a big reminder that we can't do this without Monster Energy, our official energy drink partner. Unleash the beast. Go out there, get you a can of Monster, post up, and of course, make sure that you're following all the socials, that you're following that Twitter, that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. And every single time you do any interaction, we're going to say this all day long. Don't forget that hashtag PMPLNA. Do me a favor, guys. Use it. Let's get that chatter up so we can show the people that, hey, NA, it's got what it takes to get moving on here. Also, remember, take a photo while you're doing that too, right? Take a little selfie. Show us exactly how you're watching this show. And then when you do that post, use that hashtag once again, and hopefully we'll see one of you guys here on the broadcast. I'm looking forward to see that for sure. Man, so much to talk about, so much to get going on here. Oh, but it looks like we do have one.
Let's go.
Okay. So I just got it in my ear. Let's take a look to see exactly what it is. Oh, okay.
It's the
Let's
finger
go.
hearts.
Hey, that's actually, though, it doesn't look that bad.
Oh.
I'm telling you,
Look
it's
at
on brand
that.
glitter. I think it's a must for every PFP.
All
we
it
have
says,
going forward.
hashtag miss you guys. Oh, bro. Oh. Stop it, Diabolic. Stop
We
it,
miss
George.
you too.
Shout out to the legend, Diabolic, man. Hopefully we can be able to get chatting with him soon enough. But it's so cool to be able to see everybody out there, you know, share the love on how you guys are watching this. And hey, next time this could be you as well. Got to make sure that you guys use that hashtag.
I love
Seven.
that it
Seven
got-
looks so disappointed.
I love that it got our perfect reaction to just glitter trying to do those hearts, bro. I'm just like, not this again, and you're just over there cracking up.
Just how was this possible?
Remember last time?
Yeah.
I had a broken hand.
Oh, always a classic. Always a classic. So good to have you back here on the desk, Glitter. Man, you know, this show has been absolutely insane. The leaderboards has been going up and down, back and forth this pretty much whole entire tournament. And this is one of those critical days we've been talking about because tomorrow is the last one for this phase. And these bonus points going into the final 7 are just a must-have.
They're definitely a must-have, and I feel like once we see the overall two between both phases combined, that's gonna be able to paint a bigger picture. Because remember, at the end of phase 3, whatever the overall looks like, they're also gonna be getting a chance to get some extra bonus points. So I'm really intrigued to see what's gonna happen. But as we've been saying, I mean, like some teams have stepped it up. Most wanted, getting a chicken dinner. I mean,
Yeah.
let me be
Huge.
completely honest when I say this. Besides what they said yesterday, what a Philly Esports said yesterday as most wanted, other than that, we really didn't hear much from them because they were always towards the bottom of the leaderboard. Maybe that just put a spark on their butt, and most wanted was like, oh, really? Oh, we're free
Oh.
points? Oh, let's see about that. They weren't free points this time around.
They sure weren't. They sure weren't. And they took it out from under from Aphelion Esports. And that was kind of a hard place to be. I mean, they were stuck in that shack for quite a while, but they made it work to their advantage when I don't think they would have done it before. So that's what I like to see, you know, that fight in the dog and just them start really getting at it. And hey, we saw it there in the last match. Hopefully we can see it here coming up. But it looks like we do have a great interview with one of the Nova players. So why don't we go ahead and go straight to that? What's up, everybody? It's Hot Jukes, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Shifan from Nova Esports. Brother, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Hajik?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. Ready to get back to see some of the best go at it, dude. It feels like it's been way too long. You know, I'm pumped up for this PNPL season. How about you?
I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up as well. I like, especially since Livik is in the new map rotation, that makes like me more excited.
So first question I have for you here is, how are you feeling right now before this whole tournament starts? And, what preparations did you make going into this one, especially with these big changes coming up?
For my team, we basically didn't take any break between during the off season. Even though there are like a bigger tournaments going on, we do watch those tournaments, but we do play and practice daily, just trying to get a better shape of ourselves and to be prepared for the PNPL full split. And especially with the new format, I feel like it's really exciting. At the same time, I feel like it's a really good format. Things like it gives more opportunity or like kind of like rewards those teams who performed really good during the league phase, and coming to the finals, they have the hard start points, and I feel like great format, love it.
Let's go, man. It's so good to be able to talk with the legend, Shifan. I hope he's doing that viewer party out there and watching, man. Hopefully we can see him back on the battlefield soon enough, Seven.
Listen, I'll be the first one to say, I was always wondering what it would be like if we just had the Nova roster without Chifan for a little bit. Right now, they're looking good. But I am still intrigued to see if Chifan does come back, how that squad will perform, Glitter.
It's just one big experiment at this point. To be fair,
It
they
is.
did well last season. They're doing even better this season. There's not even there's a little bit of give and take, right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I
Yep.
think that they just kind of got to rock with the squad that they have, but they have done better and better every season. They have been consistently improving. They're a squad that we've watched for, I can't even count how many seasons now, and we always looked at them with the idea of you can just like see the potential there, and we didn't know what the final piece of the puzzle needed to be in order to put them on that next level. But I think these last 2 seasons specifically, they have just been elevating themselves to the point where we had wanted them to be the entire time, and now they're kind of unstoppable.
Hashtag Nova Strong. I mean, this is one of the most ridiculous rosters. It almost seems like no matter what they do, even if they swap out players, they're still going to see them on the top of the leaderboards. And one thing that was really cool as well, what Shifan said, there was no off season for Nova.
Yeah.
So the second they got done with that tournament, it was back to the lab, back to work. And I think we'll definitely see that work pay off here, Seven.
Yeah, I think something that I wanted to mention too with this roster is just the depth of the roster. Like for them, if
Yeah.
they do need a backup, they can just fall back on Shifan. That's something great to have. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how many teams can actually do that, or especially in an A, how many teams can actually go to a fourth. We have seen some teams actually start a game with just 3 players for whatever reason it might be, but it happens. But I don't think it would happen here with Nova Esports. So far, I'm impressed. Like with what you said, Glitter. The past few seasons, we've always seen the team get better and better. We went from seeing this team that just wasn't confident enough in themselves in a way to take those fights to now just pushing the action. And a team that was just pretty much known, honestly, for doing their heal strats on Sandhawk all the time, to now being that aggressive team, right? We saw what QZ was able to do last season. Now, guess what? Now, Kinda has been able to step up. We've been able to see what Yi does, what Koi and Rin. Overall, it's an impressive squad, and I'm glad Nova Esports hasn't really decided to change the roster that much. The core of the roster is still there, and I think this should send a big message to a lot of the teams in NA. Try to play it out a little bit longer. Don't split too fast, man. Give you guys some time, and this is exactly what can happen. It took Nova 2 seasons to get to where they currently are. A lot of teams can learn from that.
Oh, I think they need to learn big time. We've seen that too often. Stick together, put in that time, and it'll pay off. Next match is up and running. Let's go ahead and take it out over to our casters for the next one.
We just did a little bit of a deep dive on the Nova roster, and I got a lot more to add on to that because I follow another scene that Nova participates in over in China. The best team in the world, the back-to-back PMGC champions, Nova, out of China, not Nova NA. And I just want to say, like, the infrastructure that the Nova team has is insane. So, like, Shifan subbed right now, right? They're messing around with their roster iterations. Over on the Chinese side of things, a span, when they won the PMGC, they ended up subbing out one of the players that won the PMGC with them to continue experimenting with the best roster possible. And then when they won PMGC a second time with the same player, King was the starter for PMGC and both times, and they won PMGC twice. They
Mhm.
subbed him out again to mess with things a little bit. So it's like you could be a PMGC championship winner on the Nova roster, and there's your work's still not done yet. They wanted to see even better. So like Nova NA, like that's just foreshadowing for all the teams competing in NA that Nova is going to non-stop improve themselves in any way possible. So even if they're first, you could bet your butt they're not going to be content. They're going to still find mistakes to improve upon. They're still going to find things to work on. So it's just like Nova as an organization, as like a team, just they are top notch.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's actually really interesting because even if you do well one time, you got to keep everybody on their toes. And it looks like we're continuing the trend of the plane path not liking the first circle, or the opposite, circle not liking the plane path. Because plane path all the way to the west, circle all the way to the east. We're gonna see a lot of big rotations once again, but this is still Erangel. This is actually our last Erangel of today, second last
Mm-hmm.
match. So a couple people are going to be happy. Honestly, I'm a little interested. I think a lot of those teams that dropped more to the east might just grab vehicles and keep going. I think that's exactly what some of them are already doing.
Yeah, Yaz, very open, but of course the Knights are going that way. Aphelion Esports, we sometimes see them loot Lipovka. We've actually seen a game where they just pick everyone up and drive all the way east right off the bat, and it looks like
Hmm.
that's what they're doing here. Aphelion on the far west side on Gatka, I see two vehicles. They just picked up their two teammates, and instead of looting a Gatka split, they might just drive all the way to Lipovka and loot on the eastern side. Now, last time we saw something like this happen, it was only the Aphelion Esports team that kind of did this type of rotation. We do
Hmm.
see Korean barbecue lovers also going towards the east, but that's just their default looting spot, right? Like sort of a bunker split right there next to what we call the Walmart compound, which is this giant square compound kind of in the middle of nowhere. We do see Third Eye up here in shooting range, starting their looting phase. So a lot of teams will probably just end up taking their time to loot before rotating into this new circle. And shots ringing out, a little bit of Mad Max action, but they're just gonna continue on the merry way.
I mean, with the way that Third Eye was driving there, I think they're hoping the Severny was still a little bit open, but it is, in fact, not. So they have to keep going if they're hoping to loot something bigger. And I feel like that's definitely what happened because the other two members of Third Eye don't have a vehicle. So them driving that far is a little bit scary, but this early on, it's going to be fine. Unless for whatever reason, Ace decides to start hunting them. I feel like that's not usual, though. They're going to finish up in Severny in the next, couple minutes and then probably make a big northern rotation is my guess on this. But I mean, you never know, I guess. I don't think Ace of Spades is like that, though. I don't think they're that aggressive, but then obviously they're good players when it comes down to a fight, but I don't think they'll
Mhm,
actively go searching. And you were right, the Knights and their vehicles going straight to Yasnaya. That means that this circle is slowly being filled in already.
mhm. Slowly, ever so surely. Aphelion Esports still rotating. They haven't even started their looting phase yet. And they are indeed going towards the Lipovka region. Right now, they're
Hmm.
currently in that bunker area, just rotating by the team of Korean barbecue lovers. Everyone else looting before they rotate in. This might be a little bit of a slower start. We won't see most teams rotate by until the second circle pops up, and that's actually typically how it goes on Erangel. Simply because so many different power positions all throughout the map, right? And that's also due
Hmm.
to the team's familiarity and understanding of how each position works. I think there's a lot of power positions and multiple maps, but some teams, don't know how to play those positions as well as the positions on Erangel just because we play this map so many times. And back to back already finishing their looting phase in Milta and rotating up more central of the zone, which
Oh.
could be interesting because KBL does a split around the middle of this new circle. So we might see a little bit of altercations come through. And just as I say that, yeah, back to
Nice.
back, chasing down the side of KBL. Acer and Quan are here. They fire some shots back, slowing back to back just a little bit. Now back to back have a very small timing to go aggressive. But the rest of KBL already converging on this position, and that's not good for back to back because they can easily get flanked right now by, I believe, Sam. Yeah, Sam's coming in from the backside, finishing his split loot.
I mean, did you see Acer? He just, in his vehicle, just launched himself into
Yeah.
prison. Like, he was being chased by back to back. For a while, back to back were kind of spread out, driving around. Like, I couldn't tell if it was straight towards KBL or towards Aphelion. And then they clearly had a target that they were chasing down. Luckily, he was able to get away. But now all of KBL, you're right, they're trying to kind of fortify around this prison spot. But looks like back to back, they're sitting down or right above them on those rocks. That means who's ever inside of prison, like these two members of Korean KBL, it's gonna be really hard for them to leave. So they're here now, and I think they're gonna be here for a while.
I like to see back to back. Okay, well, they are rotating. I was going to say, I like to see them do a bigger split to fortify this position better or go to a different position altogether. And it looks like they are going to isolate out Joey. Oh, Joey making it out just in time here, but that does leave the entire KBL team on the low ground and now back to back have full control. Now, I like what back to back did. However, they committed all 4 players to take over Joey's position. Imagine if they left 2 back where they were, and the second they start running and going down into the open, the other 2 fire from a different angle. I feel like that would have worked out way better for back to back. So we'll see how this continues, but KBL for now just really pinned in. Back to back can do whatever they want because there's no teams around these 2 just yet.
And their new spot now, I will say, is arguably a tiny bit safer than the spot on the southern side of prison. But I agree, like they had the opportunity to be split there, at least up by that Pride Rock. And down here, it looks like they're actually sending 2 back now that they've realized that. I wonder if they sent all 4, like really to try and take that spot, or if they really were thinking about making a bigger rotation. No, that doesn't make sense. Where would they rotate to? Yeah, I think just all of them just decided to go for it. I guess better be safe than sorry was their mentality on that one.
Yeah, maybe they thought there was 2 players here, right? Because they counted 2 inside prison. And if there's 2 players where Joey was, yeah, it is safer to take 3 or maybe even 4. So you can never be too safe. And other teams rotating in now, most wanted, the winners of last match, albeit a little bit more on the lucky side, that little shack just getting the circle every time. They did play it right, though. That shack can easily be a place where you lose players, right? But they kept all 4 to the end game. And now back-to-back fighting with KBL. Sam just knocked 1 player with back-to-back. And that might mean KBL might go aggressive, but if they fight now, it's a little bit later in the game, and there's way more teams coming very close by now. But ooh, the aggression out of KBL, I like seeing this, and back to back, this could be the end for them.
Yeah, I was actually watching this, and back to back, they're actually driving around clearly looking for members of KBL here, and it's not going on their side. They were able to get a lot of trades and these flushes because of that Molotov, but oh man, even more members. That means back to back is only down to 1 person. He will get that last couple knocks. There's one. Yeah, I was gonna say there's 1 person left, and Quan makes it over that ridge just in time. Back to back is eliminated. I was watching them drive around on the map that we have, like not sticking to the side of prison like we were thinking. They were driving all around on the northern side, clearly hoping to find out some members of KBL, and they sure did. But not in the way that they wanted. They're gone. I think they're trying to. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless too.
Yeah, it's just kind of like they weren't sure what they wanted to do, almost to put it simply. KBL also playing very aggressive there. End up losing two of their players. It could have been a bit more clean. We saw one player of KBL open the doorway and trying to fight inside, and then another player threw the Molotov in. I feel like that could have been better synergized, where they didn't even need to lose a player to begin with right there. But either way, you took down 4 players, 4 elimination points. Not too terrible. Losing two is not the best of trades, however. And the next circle, we are shifting. Well, it didn't really shift anywhere. It just cut out all of the water that was in the
Yeah.
previous circle. So we're pretty much having the same exact zone. More teams are here now, now that we're 10 minutes in, and all of them has finished their looting phase.
Yeah, everybody's just driving around at this point. I feel like there's a lot of people in vehicles like hoping to find even better spots than they had previously. And that of course is gonna mean that they're gonna get some angles on people. So we might see some shots like this, like Skipper taking some shots at 19 esports. Just to kind of pester, try to pester your neighbors, see what kind of damage you can do. Maybe you'll get a nog, maybe a nice flush. But that's all that's going to be this zone for now, I think. I think this is still a little bit too big to see big fights, except there's definitely a lot of people on the southern side that are starting to get close.
We see some single fire shots popping back and forth. That's like about, 80, 100 meter distance. And it just, I just had a thought. It's so cool that you're able to do this on a mobile device. Like, take 200, 300, 100 meter long accurate shots on
With no aim assist. It's crazy.
yeah, on a phone device on that small of a screen. That is something though that you do have to train. Like for your eyes to be able to spot out those small pixels. I've had friends start playing this game and they're just like, how do you see enemies here? And it's just like, it's practice. It takes time. A lot of teams still circling back and forth, like you mentioned, in their vehicles, trying to scout out the area some more, see what bigger splits they can do, see what's still open in this second phase before we head into the third phase very soon.
How do you see? That was me when I switched from competing on a laptop to getting a desktop. Like it was like so much more visibility. It was crazy. But also, like to kind of go off on that a little bit more, when I was new to the PUBG M scene, I didn't realize that these guys played without aim assist, and that still blows my mind watching this every once in a while. Like watch this, like Nesquik is about to just absolutely slap down.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't want to get hit there. HQA was watching that window like a hawk, but yeah, just a little bit of love to what these guys can do, I think, because I'm still astounded every time I watch these.
Yeah, next circle coming in. Where is it gonna go? Goes down a little bit to the east. Knights with a huge split. I like this split that Knights is doing. Not in this circle, but each position that each player of the Knights is in is a power position in of its own. So no matter where the circle shifted, they will have a strong power position to play in to fall back on. So that 1-1-2 split was not a split to hold for rotations or to pick up points, but it is literally a split held to take the next power position in the next shift. And I think that was really cool to see there as another member of KBL goes down. Quan, last one up, forced to play on the very, very edge of zone, and he might end up getting, crashed here too, but when you're playing this edge of zone, maybe you could surprise a player or two. As Ace of Spades fighting with Angry Amateurs. Ace of Spades looking really good, taking down majority of the Amateurs team.
There we go, getting that one res off. They don't have the best spot though. I'm a little bit worried because they're behind like the tiniest little shack house ever. It does look like they're realizing that already sending one person out on a vehicle. Doing this will make it so that hopefully he'll start tossing him some nades. Yeah, there we go. So that they can't use these windows so the rest of his team can kind of follow on after. But even still, taking a good amount of damage. It looks like the knock came through though. So the rest of Ace, they're going to be over here shortly. And I think that's it for Angry. I think there is only that one person left. It's just on to Mayo. It's a little difficult as he also flushes out his poor teammate there. Ooh, this could be it, actually.
Yep. Perfectly tossed right there. That's a good finish for Ace of Spades. Now they clear out that building, which they could use to push into the next building potentially, which is Third Eye across the road. And Third Eye is in zone. Third Eye playing a little bit of a split, so they might have an easier time just crashing it straight on. We'll see what they do. Execute here. This is the middle of the zone, pretty much, a little bit to the left of it. I don't feel like Execute's in a really great position. They're just playing in some dips next to a power position, so just trying to survive and keep their head down for now.
Yeah, it's making me a little bit nervous. There's so many angles that you can get on where they currently are at. Even oh, they spotted out 24K up there, but you know, the rest of his teammates, if they get in that building, like Solo is for sure stuck at that rock.
Yeah.
And there we go. Looks like they're going to be able to get that knock on him, and there's nothing the rest of the execute members can do, because what do? You don't want to run over that hill into the complete and utter open to try and get that res. Like he was knocked, flushed out, like he was gone. Now there's only 2 of them left.
Yeah, Solo was definitely in a bad spot, but I question a little bit how he decided to play that spot, right? He was playing extremely loud with no support from his team because they can't. He's in a terrible spot. I feel like in that situation, you just kind of stay low and quiet, and maybe, you know, the Wall Street Bets team will get into a fight with someone else, something else might happen, and then you have an opportunity. But when
Yeah.
you're shooting that much by yourself, that forces Wall Street Bets to deal with you, and he gets taken out. Circle does shift down to the south right here. This is the Walmart compound I was talking about. HQA taking a fight with Most Wanted. HQA with 4, though, but not in a good spot at all. What? Oh my god, look at that. Oh, a double.
Nice.
I want to see Most Wanted get aggressive off that.
Looks like Cordy is just prepping yet another nade. I mean, this could go on ahead and get this last one down. Not quite. Oh, this one might, though. Just more damage. Well, that means there's only 1 really up. There we go. Finally getting that knock onto that last person trying to go for the res. And that just leaves queuing left. And I believe that Most Wanted should start sweeping this back here because they know that somebody is close. Unfortunately, they are doing it with only 1 person, but Sleepless is
Nice.
able to get it anyway. That was a nice hold and cleanup for the side of Most Wanted. HQA, I'm a little bit surprised by that performance, but I think that was just a huge nade for the side of Most Wanted.
And so they were doing a 2-2 split. They left this spot to take out HQA. So that does leave only Alucard here. Alucard, though, he's looking good with that DBS. Oh, gets a little bit greedy, jumping over the wall top. The rest of the team could have supported him if he just stayed a little bit more safe. So they end up losing this position. This position in also kind of center zone. So Most Wanted doing a good job, I would still say, reacting to the HQA and the hit list pushing in. So can't really fault them for that. They do pick up 4 elimination points total so far and keep 3 people up at a strong position. The hit list, though, kind of snuck that one in while Most Wanted was dealing with HQA. Third Eye and Ace of Spades on the northeast, not in the zone. They're going to have to fight their way in as the circle is slowly starting to close in.
And as you can see in that elimination feed, we expected it, but Execute is now out of this game. That wasn't the best spot ever to be at. And that just means Wall Street Bets, they're going to be able to kind of spread out a little bit more, maybe even some other teams. Third Eye, though, oh man, a lot of shots between Dumb and Ace of Spades as of right now. Even Aphelion actually getting involved. It does look like they'll finally be eliminated, though. Only a couple of them were alive at the end here. But both these teams right here, both Ace and Third Eye, they're going to be trying to move in the same spot to play the very edge of the zone because everything else is so open. So we know that this fight is going to be taking place.
Ace of Spades right now with 7 eliminations. They've just been fighting their way in nonstop. Ace of Spades is looking like, you know, the Panthers in their prime, almost.
True.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the Panthers do too much, but Ace of Spades, you know, giving me, you know, notes of the Panthers with how well they're playing and how well they're just taking these fights. The Knights on the north side wrapping in on their rotation. They had to get a revive as they were being contested a little bit, but they'll manage to find a spot in the edges of the zone with no real problem. Coops doing Coops thing. I don't even know where Coops is because we see 2 of the Knights here and Coops is somewhere knocking and eliminating players. Here's Coops Intense. Oh, taking a fight with Ace of Spades now. Oh, I was just complimenting Ace of Spades so well, but Coops is just better.
I don't think Third Eye or Ace of Spades expected Coops to drive all the way down along the side of this circle and take down Third Eye and half of Ace of Spades. I know I wouldn't. That was an interesting decision that worked wonders for Coops, though. I mean, they heard the struggle happening over here for a while, though, so if you can take your vehicle and kind of drive on up and see what's happening, I mean, why wouldn't you? But yeah, now one of those teams is completely gone, and the other Ace of Spades is down to 2 people left.
Yeah, Knights are still doing a 2-2. We have
Mhm.
Spec and I believe that Xenox on the other side. They just took down player 19E, or Wall Street Bets, I mean, and forced them out the other way. So playing a huge 2-2 split, controlling the whole entire northern half of the new circle as it is going straight into the open fields. The hit list with only the hard cover left in the new zone.
Oh man, and Mazexus, they're starting to make a move up to the northern side though, and that might make the Knights kind of come back together because it's this 4-man, except for you here, he's actually super far away. I mean, first they have to deal with the Ace of Spades, but once they're gone, it's just 2 members of the Knights that are gonna have to fend off Mazexus. The thing is they're driving a little bit closer. I was gonna say it will be possible if Mazexus decides to be a little bit more passive, but they're clearly wanting this rotation. I mean, they have to get inside the zone, so they're starting to feel it out. It looks like Knights trying to get those knocks out of those vehicles, not quite successful just yet, but if Mazexus continues to try to drive around in that area, it's gonna happen eventually. Ooh,
Yeah, I
he's
love
stopping.
this. I love this spot Coops is playing in. This is a very, very small dip. Gotta be a little bit careful though. If he had a pre-nade ready, Remix would have gone him down instantly. But I think he was a little bit distracted. He could still get saved. We see. I do believe that was Tensa on the supporting line. But yeah, oh, perfect support out of Tensa. Oh, and the trade even more perfect out of Mazexas. This is a straight out 4 versus 4 brawl with players moving in back and forth, trying to reposition and help each other out. But I think Mazexas, at the end of the day, will get a better end of this. The Knights were in such a great position, but a slight slip up causes the whole entire formation to crumble.
There's only one of them left too. He did just get the res on a Tensa, but inactive, tossing nades on over. We'll go on ahead and get the re-knock. Spec is the last one alive for the Knights. I was a little bit worried about that, and it looks like it was finally just ripped apart. And there we go. The flush comes through. Spec is now the last one alive. He's far enough back in that smoke where the rest of those nades aren't quite reaching, but it was a matter of time that before all those nades were going to finally finish it off, because where else would the Knights be except in that smoke somewhere? So they're out
Yeah.
of the game. Zexus, they still have 3 up. That's a pretty strong spot here. And of course, the hit list with 4 still alive, trying to now take them down. I'm not quite sure who's going to win this because Wall Street Bet still has 4, hit list 4, Mazexus 3, and Most Wanted 3. That's still a lot of good teams with a lot of players.
Wall Street Bet's in a really great position here, though, with that new circle. They have the zone and a bit of cover. They just need to keep at least one smoke up against the hit list. And the hit list, they're forced to move out of their compound soon enough as the zone closes in. Everyone else also forced to move just a little bit. Wall Street Bet's taking 3 range shots at everything, and they have 4 players to do so. Mazex's zone is closing ever so slowly. They got to use their vehicles now. And there's still a total of 5 teams up. So that's still a lot of players in sightlines you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm. It's a little spooky in this spot too because there isn't that many good dips to play out of. I mean, I will say like the hit list is still good and Wall Street Bets they're in like one of the few dips still here. But Mazexus, if once Remix kind of like sniffs this out, I'm sure the rest of Mazexus that are super spread right now might come over here, especially now that Remix is knocked. Like, I feel like Mazexus honestly should go and probably try to get that rest and then get rid of Wall Street Bets. I think it's too late. Remix is so low now.
Yeah, Mazex is just trying to find options right here in such a difficult situation. Not much they could do. Most Wanted in a decent spot here, using the smokes to stay up. They have that little ridge line, but that ridge line's to their backside, which isn't going to help them in this new circle. And Mazexis, I think they're just going to try and prone their way in. That leaves the hit list. Hit list got to make a move now. Blue Zone slowly choking them out. Wall Street Bets should focus their full attention right now on the hit list while they have this opportunity to hurt them just a little bit. And actually, Wall Street Bets is going to take some shots at Most Wanted.
I mean, whatever points that they can get, why not? It looks like they're all out of smokes too, so Most Wanted at this point, if they're just able to spot them out underneath those vehicles, those are some knocks, hopefully eliminations on their side. I do agree though, like other than Most Wanted, the hit list is definitely their next biggest threat, and I haven't really seen them taking shots in that direction. I do think they at least have a couple people looking, but so far I think the hit list is nice and safe. Oh, a knock comes through on the side of Wall Street Bets, though. That's going to put a little bit of a pause onto their operation right now, which right now I feel like every moment is kind of essential. At least the
Mhm.
zone hasn't popped yet, though. Usually the like big moment of action is like right when this next zone pops, and it happened now. It looks like it actually pulled right in between Wall Street Bets and Most Wanted, so that means the hit list, if they were hoping for the zone, it is not happening. They're most likely going to be making a rotation towards Wall Street Bets too. Yeah, there we go, already the smoke
Mhm.
line coming out.
Oh, I like this. If the hit list moves fast, they could use those smokes, get close enough to throw some nades in, and really soften up Wall Street Bets who are. Oh,
Mhm.
yep, there we go. Just as I say that, here comes the nades, and now here comes the push closer with the vehicles. Very well orchestrated push. The hit list right now, the only thing that comes into question is their execution.
Oh
How
no.
good is their players' just aim and awareness of the sightlines? And I feel like they stopped it a little short. They needed to keep that pressure up. They had the nades, they got close, but then they stopped. And now Wall Street Bets just gets to like throw everything right back at them, and they're safe now.
Yeah, Wall Street Bets, at least one of them ran out of all kind of utility, but nope, 24K just spotting out Arsh there. I feel like you're right. The hit list did stop a little bit short. They need to like go up to that tree almost and like really confirm that pressure by taking them down there. Does look like a nade will be thrown back and be successful in getting a knock into yet another. But at this point, the hit list, how many are up? Just one? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know how much more Jachi's gonna be able to do by himself, right? I mean, Wall Street Bets is also just done to one, but since he's a solo, I don't think he's gonna want to be aggressive, and Wall Street Bets might just be able to heal on up. And this is just opening the door for Most Wanted to clean this up and potentially take a win again.
Maybe a back to back, but Wall Street Bets are getting reset. Jat G still with 3 nades. I would say just throw them once you get close enough. Most Wanted down to 2, playing very careful, right? They had a huge opportunity to third party all of this, but with only 2 players, you never know. One of them runs by, someone being prone, and you're down to 1, so they're playing it slow. Jachi, of course, don't want to go for that revive. Wants to stay low and hidden in the grass. Wall Street Bets back up 2-3, but the nades. Jachi has 2 more. He needs to get at least 1. This one looks like it's gonna hurt Wall Street Bets a lot.
Mm, another
Oh,
nade.
too short.
Yeah, I was waiting for the resolution of that nade there, but doesn't quite happen. Does look like Skipper is gonna find out where one of the members of Most Wanted is, so now it's just a
Mm,
solo, and that means I don't know if that's really gonna be a win. You're right, Wall Street Bets. Oh, the hit list with only one person up for the longest time. Just let Wall Street Bets just reset entirely. Like, Wall Street Bets has to win this. This is their game.
mhm. 10 eliminations also for Wall Street Bets. Skipper with eagle eyes. We were just talking about earlier, having like really good vision to spot out even a pixel on your screen, and he did just that. Jachi with a great nade. Wall Street
Nice.
Bets know it's a 3v1. He's got 4 nades. Ooh, he could get 1. Maybe a second one? No. They
Mm.
spot him out, and that is a win for Wall Street Bets. A great game for the hit list as well, and Most Wanted with 2 good performances in a row. All the teams just out of nowhere stepping it up. Wall Street Bets, the hit list, and Most Wanted.
And that was a hard zone. Like, there's very few places that you can actually play in there. So those teams that actually found them, I mean, they're the ones that are going to be there in the end. And they ended up playing them pretty well, arguably. I feel like the pivotal moment in the end there really was the hit list push onto Wall Street Bets.
Yeah.
If they just went a little bit harder, then I think it would have been a completely different ending. But Wall Street Bets got yet another chicken dinner. We're gonna go into highlights and then see what the desk has to say once again. See you soon.
Wall Street Bets getting that chicken dinner on that one. It's good to see that good old snake play towards the end there. Of course, I'm Hot Jukes here with 7WG and Glitter Explosion. Hope you guys are feeling good out there today. 7, hey, I know you saw the Knights putting in some work over there, huh? What do you think about that?
I mean, Knights, I think they ended up with a total of 10 eliminations, if I'm not mistaken. What really set me back, though, was when Coops got knocked, Tensa went straight in to revive him. Like, he didn't wait a single second. He full sended, and then it became a spiral ever since that. And then I feel like the team just wasn't ready for Misexis to actually be holding up those angles. Maybe they, with the new coach that they have and everything that they currently have available to them, they'll be able to go back and learn a lot from that play. Because it felt just so messy for me, the way that they just, yes, I know, it's Coops, okay? But it was just a full send without any thought of what could possibly happen.
Panic!
You know what? I'd love to see, you know, that's a really good point, you know, like, and that's for all you guys that are keeping up with all the different social medias, you know, the Knights did announce that they did have a new PUBG mobile coach, pretty big figure in the PUBG world, so that could make a big difference there. Hopefully, you know, they'll go ahead and take that game and do a little VOD review about it, kind of figure out what tweaks they need to change. Of course, you know, this tournament couldn't be done without Monster Energy, our official energy drink partner here, guys. Unleash that beast. Now, speaking of Unleash the Beast, Glitter, right? You saw the top 3 finish right there. Those squads really got into a lot of action. What really stood out to you?
Listen, we were talking about it while we were watching those final moments, and first of all, Jat G yet again. I know everyone's been highlighting him, but like
Jat
stepping
G.
up to the plate in an insane way. The nades, okay? When he had that nade land, I think we were in agreement that we were kind of hoping he would push after that, because it was a really awesome opportunity to try to clean up a few more elim points, and it had boiled down to the 1v1 at that point. Obviously, everyone else just kind of waiting in the wings to see how that was going to play out, but it would have been the perfect opportunity there for Jati to take out Wall Street Bets. But in general, once again, a top 3 with teams that need the points, that have fallen off, that are bouncing back. I don't know if they heard us, Jukes, when
Right?
we were talking and we called out Most Wanted, but like we said they needed to be consistently decent or really good, and I feel like they're kind of starting to edge towards the really good part of potentially moving themselves up the leaderboard a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, another top 3 finish there for them, and, you know, putting in some action towards that end. I mean, they ended up stealing a game from Ophelia just the game before 7.
Can I just say, Most Wanted kind of threw the win there when they decided to third-party Wall Street Bets in the hit list? Because the hit list was going in on Wall Street Bets. I mean, they only had, I think it was just one player live from Wall Street Bets. They had him on the ropes. And then all of a sudden, that Most Wanted player just got that itchy finger. They're like, oh boy, I better get involved with this. And then as soon as that happened, you can see the hit list stopped in their march. They're like, okay, we can't do anything now. And I think that's why Jadji actually, second question, getting on that buggy and making that full send. If they would have waited just a little bit longer, obviously it's hindsight. We're able to see a lot more stuff that the players are not able to see there in the moment. But man, I really felt like Most Wanted could have won that.
Well, you know what? We'll wait a little bit longer before we get on that Most Wanted train just yet. But guys, you don't go anywhere. We got an awesome interview with the hit list, and we'll be right back after that. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Hot Jukes, and I'm here with Osh from the hit list. What's up, bro? It's the first time I think I'm ever talking to you, right?
Yeah, it's first time.
Nice, nice. So, now speaking of the first time talking to you, is this your first time competing here in the PNPL?
Yeah, it's my first time competing in PMPL.
Nice. So how you feeling, man? How you excited? You nervous?
No, I'm very excited to play in PMPL.
Got it. So how did you get onto the squad of the hit list? Did you get picked up, or can you mind explaining to people, because there's a lot of people out there that want to get on a pro team, and you did it. So if you can explain to people like how you got there.
So like Pikachu saw me playing scrims and other tournaments, unofficial tournaments. So they picked me up, and I gave tries to them, and they liked me. And I got selected.
Put in that work. Put in that work. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so we got some questions for you, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it started here. So how are you feeling right now before this tournament's about to start? And what preparations did you make here as you joined this new squad? Gelling with them. If you want to explain a little bit of that.
I'm a little nervous because it's my first time playing in PMPL. We are doing great as a team too, and I'm doing a great as a individual. I always go to training ground before matches, and I think I'll be good in PMPL.
Bam, bam. Always good to see you. Get a nice little conversation in with the hit list. Excited and nervous. First PMPL for him. And so far, we've seen some really big shines of light from the hit list here, Seven.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every single time we talk about the hit list, it's mostly because of something that G has shown us when we're actually looking at them during the match. It's never anything that some of the other players do, and I feel kind of bad for them because some of the other players are able to put up great performances. But every single time it's the hit list, it's literally G just doing some amazing plays, whether it's nades, whatever it might be. And I mean, I'll take it. I'm pretty sure they'll take it too.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you this, Glitter. From the rest of the hit list squad, do you think they need to step it up a little bit here this next match, or should you think G should just kind of lead the way?
It's a combination of both, right? Because we talk about this a lot. If there is one player on a team that the squad can kind of rally around, that's your building block, right? That's kind of like where you can start your greatness. And we've seen that happen. We've seen them be able to rally around Jadji when he's having insane performances. I feel like he must know when the spectators are on him, because like you're saying, Seven, he always really does have insane plays anytime we check in with the hit list. But also still want some other people on the hit list to almost become like the second Jadji, because having multiple superstars, which we've seen multiple teams formed around the idea of knights, it will eventually help you be even better. And when they play well, when they're all on, we saw what happens after day 2 of this phase. They were in second place overall. They were doing insanely well. They just need to be able to keep that up.
Yeah, don't want to rely just on one player, because if he has that bad performance, then it's going to be tough for the rest of the squad to really amp it up here. But man, we got one game left here for today. Don't go anywhere. Let's get it going. Let's get it on over to the jungle and bring it on over to our casters.
We're down to the last match of the day. We still got one day to go before we figure out who makes it into the top 12 for Livik. But for some of these teams, this could be the game-breaking map, because we're down to Sandhawk. And in Sandhawk, you never know when you get an opportunity to win the match, depending on where the circle goes, Span.
I'm exactly like the analyst. I'm like, yes, we're about to be going into Sandhawk, the last match of today as well. Because I don't know about you, but last week, like the last day on Sunday, like it was intense in my opinion. So this being the game that it's gonna be the game that lets off what's gonna be happening tomorrow. So this time we at least have a decent playing path, and everybody's gonna start spreading out, and it's gonna be really aggressive. The last Sandhawk we watched as well, Sute, I believe was like really insane, like down to the island on the southwest. So
right in between Nakam and Sami is where it ended. And it was KBO that ended up winning that match. But we'll see what happens in this one. So we've had a zone on the northwest. Now we've had a zone on the southwest. And I guess what we've had zones kind of to the northeast. Um, and well, with this one, might just get another southern circle. This circle pretty far south. The southern edge of the circle not even visible on the map. So another big opportunity for KBO potentially to do some of their magic on Sandhawk.
Mm. Yeah, I like that. I want to see what happens now. I am also a little bit concerned about what's happening right here. Oh, well, we're cutting away because there's another thing happening. There's a couple of fights already happening. What? Like, I feel like people usually have their spots, but I mean, Four Bros and Dope are right next to each other, but not only that, Angry Amateurs are like almost surrounding them. And it looks like Third Eye and The Chosen are dropping in basically the same spot over here near Ruins. It's going to be a little bit of a crazy beginning game. And here we go, the big push coming through from Sup Pig. Oh, he had the shotgun, but unfortunately both of them just missed. Third Eye is going to gain the advantage immediately. The rest of the Chosen, though, is super spread out, so I don't even think that even if he got that knock, it would have mattered.
I feel like we're seeing this because we're having Sandhawk on the last match of the
Yeah.
day. Like, fatigue is a thing. And I think for a lot of these, or not a lot of these players, some of these players going into Sandhawk on the last match, it's just like, okay, we know we might get contested. Screw it. Let's just go for it, right? Let's take the fight early on. It's getting to the end of the day. They're tired. They've been playing a lot of matches, and they're just gonna see if they can outgun the other team. Because at the end of the day, if you win, it's still 4 points. It's still good for Sandhawk. So we're seeing these fights play out. Dope playing very quiet, not making a noise. Laurie from Four Bros has a decent idea of where these players are. Some shots with the iron sight not connecting. Those could have been some nasty shots. Casper also with the iron sight. Yeah, a lot of these players not even having time to loot up a sight of any kind in close range. Pop up in the door. He's behind the door though. Flash taking some pre-fires. Smart decision not to run through that open door because right on the other side is 3 more players of Four Bros holding that in.
Ooh, the door goes open, but Lori luckily has a little bit of cover because the door opening the other direction. Flash, though, he's gonna try and shut it down with a singular nade here. And it's a little bit scary, I feel like, for Flash because there's 2 Four-Bro member there. How is Lori still alive? Literally sliver of health from that nade. I think Flash knows it. He tries going for the push and he does it. 1 peek gets 2 down. They're both so low. I was so nervous because there's only 1 of him. I don't think that I don't think Four Bros knew where Dope was. If they knew it was only 1 person, like that push in there would have been immediate. And this is the team that was surrounding them. Angry Amateurs decide to make their appearance, pushing down into this fight as well. Unfortunately, not as clean as I was hoping, though, as Casper is able to take 1 down so far.
It's a 3-way brawl with Angry Amateurs joining this. The northeast side of the map, there is a lot of loot to be had, but everyone still just converging in right on here. Back and forth. Four Bros taken down. Dope with 4 eliminations. And they still got some more coming their way as Angry Amateurs looking like they want to disengage all of a sudden. Now that Angry Amateurs down to 3 players, this could be a huge opportunity for Dope.
Ooh. Yeah, you can already see Fishy. They're backing up for now, though. Seems like maybe they want to restart just a little bit. Maybe try and figure out where all of Angry Amateurs are for sure. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow. And I'm a little bit worried about that because remember all the times we talked about previously when it starts to slow down, it kind of turns into like a little bit of a stalemate. Feel like that's starting to happen. Like, look, there's like nobody down that entire center of Bravo here.
It's tough now for Dope to push and continue to push here. It looks like they're gonna do it though. Definitely manageable if you group up together. Just make sure you don't cross into too many sight lines. As Qing Tian holding down the wall side. He's passing a lot of info to the side of Angry Amateurs. And this right there, that's a cross that you gotta be a little bit careful of. They're using the buildings though, so they're staying kind of close and together. Dope definitely wanting to take this fight. 1 goes down. He pops out. A trade happens through. Where's the rest of Dope? Where's the follow-up? They were supposed to play close, and now they're going into the cross sidelines I was just talking about. They got to be careful. 2v2, I believe, and he goes down. Now it's a 2v1. Angry Amateurs with the man advantage now. This is what happens when you get yourself exposed into those cross sight lines, Angry Amateurs making really good use of that, and they'll get the reset onto their third player, Casper, 1v3. He can try and back off and loot a bunch of meds and go for a med strat, or he could try and stay here. I feel like this last match is the end of the day. I don't know if Casper has the mental fortitude to play a match
Yeah.
solo, so he might just stay here to see what he can do.
We've definitely seen match 5 games where they just run straight on in and try to finish it off. Yeah, so Casper seems like he's not taking that approach entirely. He's definitely laying low and seeing if he can catch them, but he's not backing off either. So he's going for like kind of an in-between move, but all he felt was pain in that entire fight that happened right there. Angry Amateurs seem to be pouring out of every single angle. Like, I don't even know if there's anything that the members of Dope could have done since they didn't know where they were coming from here.
Yeah, in fights like these, you always want to clear out the outer wall side first. Work one angle in at a time. He gets one, switches over, isolates another 1v1, gets some free damage in on that 1v1, but now he needs to take a 1v2, and that's a good try for the side of Dope. They picked up 4 eliminations, so at least they get themselves 4 points on the last match of the day. Angry Amateurs up to 5, and they still have 3 up.
Yeah, no, they could go on ahead and continue to play this game for a very successful end. We'll have to wait and see. The hit lists are getting pretty close to them on the northern side, and they have to make a rotation into this zone. But actually, in here, it looks like we're getting a little bit of an update around that ruin situation. It was originally the Chosen and Third Eye, and that has kind of settled down, and now back to back are right above them. Taking the spot right above the ruins gives them like a really nice view on everything that's happening. So they're definitely holding some of the members of Third Eye inside of ruins, I feel like, but their other two, I mean, you can see it peaceful. He's just sneaking on up, but unfortunately, he gets found out. He gets taken down, and the other member, he's trying to back up as fast as possible before back to back is able to take him down.
Back to back with a nice rotation over here to third party and also get a decent position inside the zone. They definitely couldn't cross Painan because they knew KBL would be there. And oh, the hit list. We've had 4 teams here now. And the hit list basically extending the fight for Camp Bravo even longer. So Angry Amateurs down to 1. Looks like 3 teams. Graves will be inside Camp Bravo for this last match of the day on Sandhawk. Qingtian, 1v4. He gets 1. Tries to go for the confirmation. Oh, he almost got the confirmation too. That would have been terrible for the hit list. But Jachi will finish that up, get the revive, and the hit list, the last remaining team on the northeastern side. We had a total of 5 teams there, I think, or 4.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, usually don't see that except for like a much later, like Circle 1 isn't even entirely closed yet, and there's that many teams taking a fight in that one spot. I was wondering if the hit lists were going to go for that because they looted up towards that northern side, making a
Yeah, they were
rotation
looking
straight
for it.
there. Yeah, yeah, they clearly saw that in their elimination feed, and they're trying to seek it out because, I mean, why not? And now the zone isn't that far, so they got some eliminations, and now they don't have too far to go, and honestly, it's like very free for them on that side. The majority of the teams seem to be a little bit shaken from our last Sandhawk match, I have to say, Zute. Like, looks like the majority decided to go to that island on the southwest. Like, there's barely any on the main island, and this zone is kind of straddling both of them.
Yeah, the last time we had a Sandhawk, it did have a very similar first circle, but it went to the southwest continuously, right? And we saw so many teams. After that, they were just like, we don't want to deal with that again. We're just going to go there now rather than later. And I think that's why we had so many fights on the northeast too. Teams saw that circle and was like, "No, we're not playing this game. We're just we're gonna drop here and we're gonna fight. I don't care. I don't want to run halfway across the map just to be clumped up with 5 other teams and there's nothing I can do and I'm just getting shot from like 4 different angles, right?" I mean,
for sure.
That's the beauty of Sandhawk. But this time around, it does go back up into the middle, so it can still go in the southwest, right? We don't know if it's gonna keep going up to the northeast, but for now. Teams definitely thrown a little bit of a curveball since they're all kind of just clumped up on the southwest now.
could just keep going to the center, a pine on all the way. We have to wait and see when some of these teams love that, like KBL and Knights, but we have to wait. Seems like there's some aggression happening all the way on this far western side. Oh, poor Fancy C. Like the Chosen, like after taking those really early fights with Third Eye, I feel like they've just been evading to their best of ability. So now not only them, but they have to worry about Execute right beside them. It's a little bit worrisome. Oh, and it looks like back to back moved away from Ruins and straight into KBL. KBL usually plays up here, so
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that back to back are now at least have one person eliminated on their side.
hmm I want to say with the formation of back-to-back, they are playing up here to take it over. It's not like they lost one player and back-to-back had nothing to answer back with, right? They're pushing up here, so it's a somewhat of a preemptive push. But Quan on an amazing deeper side angle, almost a flank, I'd have to say, managing to get one. And oh, please
No
save your
way.
teammate right there. There we go, Acer and Joey, best buds right there. Yeah. We may argue about who's better, but they're best of friends, and he will get that revive. And back to back, down to one. Quan with a really good preemptive side, almost flank angle, just slowing everything down for back to back and basically decimating them. Back to back, down to one player. Can he get something done? Kill switch, popping
Nice.
shots off. Gets Acer. 3 more to go. And Nova coming in. Nova knows where everybody is on the map just simply through research of teams' rotations. They're coming into third party everything.
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. However, since they're coming in on the end of this fight, like they have to get moving now. I feel like Killswitch, he is successfully getting away though. You can see him. He's like booking it backwards. He knows that all the nades are going to be landing on his spot. So
Acer.
back up a little bit and laid prone. Yeah, I don't know if Acer's going to be able to be saved in this situation. Taking a lot of damage actually being spotted out here.
Left Acer behind. Joey not returning the favor, and now the third party, and Killswitch gets Quan in a 1v1, and now KBL, it's just down to Joey. Back to back, it's down to Killswitch, and Nova, all they smell are first aid kits and free points.
Nobody wins in this situation except Nova. Yeah,
Yeah.
now they just get to clean it up, honestly. Here we go, big nade. That... Oh, okay, I had to like hold my breath there. I was like, wait, that looks pretty good. Wrong rock. One more rock behind, and it would have been perfect. Joey is so low, spotted out. Looks like KBL will go out, actually, before back-to-back, which wasn't the case previously. Like, before Nova? Like, I'm sure back-to-back would have been out already. But honestly, Nova kind of saved it. Killswitch might be able to get away and continue the rest of the game from this.
We'll see how far Killswitch gets into this match. Very unfortunate ending for KBL right there. I think they definitely got way too tunnel vision. It's like they forgot this was Sandhawk. You could get third partied easily. So that led to their demise. Execute coming in. Fate, gets a knock, but quickly gets traded instantly by another Third Eye player. But Jason knocking another one too. Fate will get revived. Third Eye down to 2. Execute with 3 players. Third Eye needs to play aggro here if they want a chance at winning this fight. They can't let that revive happen for free.
It looks like a couple of Executor already making their own rotations, though, so it might be a little bit difficult. I'm not quite sure what to expect from this one. I do know the Third Eye being up above. What?
It's...
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Well, Execute's now down to 2. It looks like Jason will be able to get another knock on a Third Eye, though, so kind of bringing it back. Now to 2v1, and Solo has a pretty good angle on that. Yeah, that's going to be it, but a little bit of a question mark, but Execute is still alive, and that's what matters, right, Sute?
There's like a meme to be had here, like some type of I think it's like the Office meme or something. I don't know. It was just comical how Fate got revived and they like traded back and forth and everything, and then he just runs right to where the enemy were into Shack and gets taken down like nilly willy. Yeah, Yeah, there's some type of meme to be had there.
No, for
in that,
sure.
in that engagement. The Panthers taking a fight with Wall Street Bets, two really hard hitting teams when it comes to team fights. Right now, the Panthers was somewhat of an advantage on the high ground and getting an opening. I think the Panthers only have 3 though. Yeah, the Panthers only have 3. Wall Street Bets getting a good answer right back, keeping up the pressure, keeping up the man advantage. Now
Nice.
the Panthers down to only 1. Wall Street Bets, they're looking a little bit better than the Panthers when it comes to engagements now. The Panthers no longer the big dog when it comes to the which team is a harder hitting squad out of the PMPL NA.
You know why? It's because 24K has a little cat pet, and apparently house cat is stronger than a panther. I mean, look at them. Just disengaging at this point, knew that he wasn't going to be able to get that res into his teammate. So what's the best answer? Disengage and hope to stay alive longer? He didn't drive too far. Yeah, there we go. You can see him now just speeding across, trying to get to the zone at this point. As Wall Street Bets is going to flush and clean up the rest of his team. Afraid he got away, so he might be able to stay alive as a solo, just send it on into Painan, which, by the way, the zone went to, so I'm pretty excited. And with a solo in a city, it's a little bit harder to be taken out.
Knights in a great position as the circle did continue to go north. And a lot of teams starting to filter into Painan. I think Painan perfect for Nova, right? Because they are not necessarily looking to push out of Painan, which will be difficult. All they want is one player alive at the end of the day to med strat. And where better place to med strat in Painan, right? In all those buildings, chances are someone's not going to be able to find you. So we'll see what they do with that. I see the hit list way down far in the south, doing a huge wrapping rotation in vehicles in the blue zone. They might end up just running straight into execute at some point. But Zexus needs to come into the zone. Ace of Spades, they're probably going to go somewhere into Painan just to stay alive for his zone. But once the circle shifts off, we'll see a fight between Ace of Spades and Nova, most likely. A lot of teams still working their way in.
I feel like with how spread out Nova is right now, I feel like they might be looting or watching their angles in these positions. I mean, Koi, he's ready. It's his time to shine. But Ace coming down from the southern side, like unfortunately, Nova moved inside of Painan where nobody's watching that angle anymore. So it might be a little bit of a surprise for Nova when Ace enters on the very southern side of Painan.
Zone is still closing. A lot of teams still slowly making their way in, and judging from the minimap, I don't think any big fights are going to happen yet. The big fight's going to happen in the next circle. Everyone's kind of, put down their position where they want to play at right there on the minimap overall. Wall Street Bets just edging in onto the eastern side. Yeah, everyone's good for now. Even the hit list, they're not going to try and clear out that compound. They're going to stay on the hill for a little bit and wait for the circle shift before making a play.
Ooh. Here we go. Ace is finally here. Kindness did kind of come back a little bit. I don't know if he felt it in his bones or what.
Oh, no.
But he
Kindness
definitely hears him.
He has 22 first aids. Kindness is the one with all the meds, and he's by himself. So even if he can knock one, he should stay quiet. And, he's kind of forced to, but he doesn't knock one. He knocks two. The patience out of these Nova players to line. Oh my, and he gets a third? Wait, no, that was from a different angle. Yeah, Koi was the one that got that player. And just like that, I mean, dang. Talk about the value of patience. It went from being stuck by yourself to maybe knocking one to getting two, and then it also gave time for the other Nova players across the river, right, to prep to help them out. So all of that just culminated together to a beautiful play out of Nova as a team.
Literally, my forehead hit my desk. Like, I'm so surprised by what just happened there. Now Mambe is the one that's trying to hide inside of the blue zone. Now Nova, they tried clearing out one of the buildings, but now the blue zone's upon him. Mambe now has the opportunity to stay alive out there. He has 17 first aids kids. Yeah, so he'll be able to do it for a little bit. Maybe his teammates have a little bit more. Looks like the Panthers are now eliminated. The rest of this is just going to be chaos. There's so many teams coming in from different angles. Here we go, inactive. Using that DBS as well, trying to catch out that last member of the Knights. You see him running, no gun out, trying to find cover there. He's so low. Spec stays alive though so far.
Yeah, the Knights kind of struggling. I'm okay, we didn't see the beginning of this engagement, but the Knights had control of this compound.
Mhm.
And there's only one team pressing them, and that's Mizex's. I don't know how the Knights ended up losing this. It's the Knights are playing sloppy for this match, and their performance overall not too terrible, but I think in general the Knights have been a little bit sloppy this week compared to their big explosive ending last week. And Nova, pushing out of the zone, like I said, their goal in taking Pine Knots not so much to push out of the city into further zones, it's mainly just keep one alive. And I just want to say, thank God Koi didn't find Mambe, or else he would have like 39, like 40 first aid kits,
True.
and we would be watching Nova Medstrat in second place for a very long time. But as for now, fight's still happening. Hitless and Star Gaming execute still up with one somewhere, Medstratting themselves, and I think Mizex's can take this game away. They're the only ones close to circle with 4 players still up.
And honestly, they should be in charge. There's that little tiny hill there. They should be in like the bull by the compound. Like,
Yep.
they have the cover, they have the high ground, they have the low, like whatever you want to call it. They have it as of right now.
The
and
power
they
position
just-
in this
yeah,
zone.
thank you. The only team that I about for them on their side is the hit list, even though now there's only 2 of them currently up. Yeah, you can see that they know that that's their biggest threat. They're already looking in that direction. But yeah, back up onto that hill, they can shut this down really quickly.
Yeah, I just want to say, if the Knights play the defense correctly, which should have been an easy win for the Knights against Mizex's, it would be the Knights in this position. So this would have been a huge Knights game that we're so used to seeing, but Mizex's, they're taking everything away, and good trade right there, or not even a trade. Mizex's, the player didn't even go down. 8 eliminations, 4 players up in the power position, and the new zone is shifted right on top of them. Wall Street Bets has 2, maybe with a good nade and a good knock, they can bring it down to a 2v2, but it's going to be quite difficult for them. By the way, Mambe and Koi really close to each other on the minimap. Something might happen there too, off screen.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Wall Street Bets as well, the last member of the hit list went around that corner and got the knock on a skipper. So Yahir might just be able to shut this down right there, and he
Yeah.
does. Yep. I mean, they were right there. And now it's Mizexus with all 4 members up, 9 eliminations versus 1 person. And we already know who that 1 person is as Ace of Spades goes out there. And it's none other than Koi from Nova gathering that 2nd place once again. At this point, I need to like go back to past events and count up how many 2nd places Koi specifically has gotten for Nova on Sandhawk. Like, I feel like the number is very high.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see Flawless get knocked here. He's in the open. Koi can see him.
He's emoting. Do it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a Mizexus win, but
I want to see if Koi could like get 1 point maybe. Inactive. Oh, I thought inactive was TPP behind that wall to look for Koi. Please, Koi, knock someone while they're emoting. Just for. Oh no. Oh, huh? What?
What?
Oh. I thought Flawless saw him, but he scoped in right as Koi got behind the wall. Koi's about to make a move. He's got 3 more first aids. He's going to play it safe. He's going to use all of them
He
because
sees
you
them.
never know, right? You never know. Oh, inactive is definitely the target here.
do it. He always takes shots.
Oh.
No, you have to do it now. He missed the opportunity.
Oh, Koi.
I'm so sad. There we go. He's taking the shots though. He always goes for it.
Oh, and he got finished. Mizex has actually got that point. Oh, it's fine. Nova also had 7 eliminations and the 2nd place finish, so it's like that's way more than Nova usually expects. But great game from Mizexus. They had to win that one through taking a 4v4 with the Knights, and they managed to win that one and secure a chicken dinner. So overall, great game for Mizexus, great game for Nova. Knights slipped up a little bit, but it happens sometimes.
I mean, definitely, that was the key moment of the game that chose the winner, is that fight with the Knights versus Mizexus. Kind of wish we caught the beginning, just as you said, but otherwise, this was an amazing game. There's action throughout the entire time, and that was the ending. There was no moment without some excitement, but we're gonna go see some highlights of that very exciting game and then get the wrap-up from the desk.
Let's go, Mazexus Esports. Get the last chicken dinner of the day. That is how you get it done. And of course, you got to get it done with Monster Energy, our official energy drink partner. A huge shout out to them. And for everybody out there, I hope you guys have been keeping up with everything. I hope you've been following all the socials. And if y'all been using that hashtag PMPLNA, because one person, hopefully we'll see them on the next show tomorrow. Take that photo, take that selfie, and go ahead and show us some love. That is how you get it done. And make sure you also keep up, because Glitter, tomorrow is where we're going to be showing all the overalls, all the good stuff. So they better be ready, right?
They better be, because tomorrow is also a very important day. We're wrapping up phase 2. And then there's a little bit of downtime before we get ourselves into phase 3. So tomorrow we'll determine whether or not some of these teams are in a pretty safe spot heading into that final phase, or if they have to kind of really be a little bit desperate in those last 5 play days.
All right. Well, you know what? After that, I think that's a good point. But you know what? It'll help they bring that point a little bit harder is this amazing graphic that we got for you guys. Why don't we go ahead and bring that graphic up in just a little bit? But you know what? We're gonna do a quick little recap. We're gonna do a quick little recap of all this 7. You know, of course, I got myself, Hot Jukes, here with the 7WG and the Glitter Explosion. We'll go ahead and take a look at this graphic right now and see you tomorrow.
Save a little something for the next round. Coming in through the outdoors, doesn't even know what the beat's for. Gotta get your freaky body on the dance floor. Save a little something for the next round.
I've been waiting here for a little while. Keep me on my toes, 'cause that's just the start. Baby, can you make your move? 'Cause we don't have forever. Baby, I could take your pain and turn it into into pleasure. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. Just say that say that you'll be. I'd be there for you whenever you need me. But you've been holding back. Maybe you're just not ready. Baby, do you feel the same? Or do you feel the pressure? I promise I can take your pain and turn it into pleasure. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. Deep minds, we were forced to be alone. Better together, better as one. Better together, better as one. Better together, better as one. Deep minds, we were forced to be alone. Unknowns and nowhere is the same. Grow a little closer, we're water, we flow. All of us together, we're good, we flow. Nothing is the same, but I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I won't hold back. Cause we're better together, better as one. Better together, better as one. Better together, better as one. Better together, better as one.
did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? Quiet like the ocean, with the rumble running deep. This is how I see you. When you hide your feels from me, why you heavy-hearted? Cut the silence, talk to me. Release your mind, get what you need. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye?
Ain't nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming. We got nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming. Ain't nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming. We got nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we us now. Keep running, we coming, ain't nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming, we got nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming, ain't nothing stopping us now. Keep running, we coming, we got nothing stopping us now.
Bye.